Some people try to protest during the president's address, and then House leadership getting onto them. Other Democrats calling them out. They still seem to be wandering around trying to figure this out. What's your take?
Can we ask another question? Do I have to talk about my own party? can we talk about Ukraine or something? No. Look, man, we're screwed. I mean, we don't know. No, Democrats don't know what to do. This is a nightmare. Somebody like Donald Trump, we thought we'd at least have Hakeem Jeffries in the speaker's chair to hold him back if we didn't have Kamala in there to do the right thing. Listen, the Democratic Party is going through a massive set of internal crises. You have a party that got trapped two ways. One, defending a broken status quo that nobody likes because they thought that Donald Trump was going to make it worse. But when you're defending the status quo, you're going to lose. And then offending most people in the country, calling everybody sexist and racist and transphobic and every other name, and then saying, please follow us. That's not a good strategy, folks. Defending a broken status quo and offending most of the country turns out is not as popular as my party thought it was going to be. And so it's going to take a while for people to get it figured out. I don't like talking about this. I'd rather be beat up. Can you give me something I can beat up Michael about? I don't want to talk about my own party.
Democrats, they sort of held the culture. They led culture. They led in many ways the political corridors of urban America. A lot of young people were solidly strong Democratic supporters. And now what you've seen, Jessica, is that the pendulum is swinging. You're seeing a lot of younger people, particularly men, who are moving more to the right. You're seeing Americans who are becoming much more skeptical of the Democratic Party, particularly on cultural issues. And this seems to be a culture shock for Democrats. They're not used to this. And it's a high moment for the Republican Party. And so I don't want to necessarily beat down Democrats, but what I would say is, for my party in particular, let's utilize this opportunity to expand our voter pool. African-American men, Latino women, younger voters writ large, so that going into the next midterms next year, we can increase our Republican majority in the House. That's what I see this moment as, an opportunity for Republican increase and further viability for our party. I'll let Democrats figure out their own mess on their own time.
Why did he say
Democrats,
that, bro?
They're not used to this. And it's a high moment for the Republican Party. And so I don't want to necessarily beat down Democrats, but what I would say is, for my party in particular, let's...
Bro, is he trolling, bro?
Yeah, he was joking.
He trolling. He trolls at the crowd.
I don't know. Man trolls, bro.
Because he was like, give me something I could beat down on him.
This dude here,
I'm not going to
bro.
beat down on you.
Nah, bro. I gotta interview this dude for real, bro.
They're all starting to realize
they're all friends. They're
co-workers.
co-workers.
I really want to know where his head at, bro. Because, like, for you to crown national television
about Joe
He's
Biden
cried multiple times on TV.
don't count about Joe Biden.
in those moments, I think he was definitely like
he was
grifting. Yeah,
He said, this is our granddad here. This is our grandpa.
And then for him to talk like this, and then for Vivek to check you and say, please, not right here, brother. I don't know about this.
I think Stephen A. and
talk
them
when
be
there's no
saying
cameras.
Oh my God, bro. He's hilarious, bro. Nah, bro. He might be actually the definition of grifting. Thank you. And this is why the Democrats
that's
cooked.
Have y'all?
That's a transgender.
That's a man.
Have y'all ever seen
That's the
the
Bud Light. That's Bud Light.
Oh, that's the Bud Light dude.
Hold on. Have y'all ever seen what a bearded dragon look like?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she looked like a bearded dragon.
She kind of do. I can
like,
see.
No
it.
bullshit. When I be seeing this smiling, like, it's kind of look like a
this
lizard.
might be too much.
It's one of them lizard people I used to look at on YouTube when I was in middle school.
Is there a stem or no stem on the app?
We don't know.
It's a fair question.
I don't want to think about that.
But don't they get it removed?
I don't know. I don't know.
Imagine this right now with a skirt with a stem.
That's what it is.
But actually, though,
Why you had to bring it up?
because it's a fair question.
I mean,
Is it not? We don't know. No one here knows.
Let's just press play.
Yeah, please.
But we don't know.
Trans women are men.
I don't know.
I might put that as a.
Do they get it
tweet.
removed?
Some of
Yes.
them do. Yes, she is. She got it.
They get it removed and then get it put inside out.
Hey, bro.
That's what.
got it
Hey,
removed.
bro.
That's what they
Hey,
said.
bro. Come on.
They turn your thing-a-lang inside
All right,
out.
But look though.
That's
look
what
though.
happened, man.
She
That's what they
referred
do.
herself as a baby trans.
As a what?
A baby trans. Like,
Why
she's
baby?
saying baby trans is like, a new thing, a new person to the trans, like being a trans. Like,
He was on the coat.
like she's been born again.
I mean, Bud Light.
No. She just saying. I mean,
was
he's
years
just
ago.
saying that he's been born again because he's a new person as a transgender. So they call it baby trans.
I wanted to ask you, because there's been all of this debate about whether transgender athletes should be able to compete. And last week, California Governor Gavin Newsom said that he thinks that trans athletes competing in girls' and women's sports was deeply unfair.
He grabbed his nuts.
Now, I want to hear what you think.
I'm sorry, he did grab his nuts. I mean, when your son think that Charlie Kirk a cool dude, you gotta grab your nuts someday. You can finally gotta grab your nuts. I bet Gavin Newsom's son said, "Hey, Dad, I don't think that women should be competing in men's sports and men should be competing in women's sports." Then you gotta say something.
You gotta realize there's a difference here. Trans men are never competing to get in men's spaces. They just want to be men and seen as men. Trans women are trying to get in women's spaces. I think trans men know no matter how much testosterone they take, they're not men.
It's just like, well, see, now I'm confused on which one. What is that originally?
A woman.
What you're referring to?
Trans man, transition.
Because I'm damn confused.
Transition
I can't
woman.
keep up. Well, don't do that with me.
Transition woman.
Let's go
is a
original.
Man.
STEM, no STEM. I don't. I can't keep up. I really can't. I'm not trying to be
Gavin,
funny.
he had to do that because just imagine being a politician and your son watching you, bro. You agree with something like that. How would you look to your son?
But Gavin is getting a check.
But a lot of these people, you know, they got.
So what? But,
Gavin's getting a check under the table that's going to say F it.
Well, he condemned it finally. Not all the way, but
athletes competing in girls' and women's sports was deeply unfair. Now,
you're obviously ain't smart.
I want to hear what you think, because I'll tell you what I think too.
Yeah. The last time I played a sport, I was 6 years old and I was on a soccer team, but I assigned myself as the nurse. So I sat with the Band-Aids. And so in the words of Wicked, I am not that girl. But a dear friend of mine, Skylar, he is a trans athlete. His handle's Pink Mannerate. That's someone who I really look to for guidance. And I think that is what's tricky is like, now stepping in this identity, I'm still like a baby trans. You know, I've only 3 years in. Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Your friend went from
thank you.
Clap, y'all, come on.
Female to male, and is
Affirm her.
competing with other males.
Correct.
Yeah.
Her friend.
Yeah, her friend. It went from female to male and is competing with other males.
So Gavin doesn't have a problem with that.
Well, I think
turning on
part of the
Gavin?
problem that the trans community is facing, and it's the same problem that women face, is if you don't know anything about our bodies, you don't know how it works. So when you come in and you say, oh, you know, these are men, you know,
competing
against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here. Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue. The same for me as when people say, oh, you know, I don't know how I feel about you. You do. God doesn't make mistakes.
No.
And the challenge is not to the trans people, it's to the people who are not trans. That's what God is looking to see, how you treat people.
Yeah.
That's what. So I'm just curious as to what I liked your answer.
Yeah, I got a lot of things to say.
Real quick, so she just contradicted a lot of things by saying God doesn't make a mistake. So if God doesn't make a mistake and you were already a boy, why did you change that? By changing that, you're saying that God actually did make a mistake.
That's true.
that's facts.
That's like she just contradicted herself so bad with that.
You know what also is crazy? We all have did a sport that's physically off of physical athleticism. In all events, there's 2 different weight sizes for male and for female. A shot put for a female is 12.
So many examples, bro.
12 pounds.
Hurdles,
a male's
everything.
is 18 pounds. Men hurdles 42 inches. Women 32.
Long jump.
Listen. So the point she said, you're assuming that women are weak and just can't do anything. So I have a question. Why are male records faster, longer, higher than female world records? Why are all the male records faster,
Because it's a genetic
higher,
thing.
and longer?
Well, I think
because men can run faster, jump higher, and run longer.
This is the way God created it.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's trying to say that like she's
women
trying to
are
compare
weak,
the
right?
likeness of men and women, but there is a physical difference, biological difference between men and women.
We got more of
said
a
women are
lung
weak.
capacity than
Nobody said
everyone.
women
knows
is weak.
this.
Like a woman's legs, like at her max strength, is probably like at the strength of your
Hold on.
bench.
This would cancel
And
everything.
So not even that, and most of the time.
This would cancel anything. Back in the day, when people was fighting for land, who went to fight?
We know who wins.
The
Who
women.
went to fight?
The women did because they were stronger.
So I mean,
I just don't understand why they play like dumb.
how
let's be real.
privileged is our society in America to be arguing about something like this?
I don't
That's a
know,
great
but
question.
like,
Very
Great
privileged.
point.
that's
Hold
so
on.
crazy.
If y'all were in the fire, burning, and someone had to come save you, you could choose man or woman. What you choosing?
That's a real question. Look, life and death situation.
So
That's
yes,
sexist.
would you like me to?
The Human Rights Campaign to declare a state of emergency for the LGBTQ plus community. What is your message to people in the trans community during this time when
Okay.
Back, we're here with Dylan Mulvaney. Sonny has the question.
Yes. Well, as we've been discussing, the trans community is really under attack in this country, right? With gender-affirming care for minors being
Women are under
banned,
attack.
actually, in many states.
Facts.
The anti-trans rhetoric coming from some conservative lawmakers caused the Human Rights Campaign to declare a state of emergency for the LGBTQ plus community. What is your message to people in the trans community during this time when the community really is under attack?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
word her question.
what we're living through is something that in the history books will be written about, and I want to make sure that my piece of it is advocacy. And it's interesting because people often put me as an activist when I'm really just a musical theater girl who now wrote a book. But I think if I was to be able to speak directly to trans people, I would tell them that the parts of us that they are attacking are the best parts of us, and that it's what makes us special and is magic, and hopefully
Yeah, I don't wanna
they
hear
can
this
see that.
bullshit,
And
bro. I'm sorry.
if the folks who maybe don't see me as a woman,
Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's over.
You're not a woman.
Let's
We
just
got to
end
the
this.
attacking
Let's
part.
end this by letting them join the UFC, and let's see how that goes.
Hey.
They'll literally die.
Take a guess. How many countries being LGBTQ, just even gay, not even, I didn't even put transgender. How many countries do you think it's illegal in?
Probably like
All of them.
90%
I would say like 95%.
83
Damn,
probably.
give me so y'all saying over 100.
of the world.
Oh, easily.
Probably 90% of countries in the world.
64 countries is illegal.
It makes
Well, yeah.
sense because you cannot produce children. Nobody want to have a society where you don't have people producing.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's that. I think it's because it leads
mental.
down to the road that we are currently on. Jails, fights, that's not cool. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100, y'all. If I grow up and I have a daughter, well, I'm already grown. If I have a daughter, right, and there is a man in the bathroom with her,
I would be upset.
I'm not okay with that, like, at all. And if you are,
You're weird.
you're probably, let me get off here before I say something that I don't want to say.
Yeah, bro. Men need to be in their own area. Women need to
There's-
be in their
there's
own
just a
area.
certain point
If you
where-
decide to transition, I'm sorry. Come use the restroom with us.
But hey, look, y'all. Even Stephen A. and Candace both agreed this is why they lost.
Yes.
This is why the Democratic Party lost.
You know,
y'all can have the best candidate, but if you're pushing this, America knows this is weird.
You know, and you want to know something? When you look at the data online, you get a whole different perspective on this. You think like more people are accepting, but when you come into the real world and you look at data, more people are not. Like this is a vastly unpopular position in America, and continuing to shove it down people's throats when they're telling you we don't like this, it's not going to change their mind about it.
Wow.
But this doesn't mean anything, bro.
it
Everyone
does.
knows it's delusional.
Because
No, everyone knows it's delusional. We don't have to pull up nothing. Everyone knows it's delusional.
obviously not.
Then you're delusional also. If you don't think
Okay,
it's delusional,
so this is
you're
the same,
delusional.
this is the same as the other one.
It's legal to have a surgery.
We're just like, where's the attack?
Confusion of the highest
so we
order.
watched a video where they said like when you're against them, they call it an attack on their identity. They're calling
That's
it
true,
you're wanting extinction for them.
That's true.
Rather than like no one's saying that trans people can't exist because obviously
we don't want you
do
to
exist.
die.
Like nobody wants you to die, but we have to have rules and
We just gotta keep it
stipulations,
real.
and we have to draw a line in the sand. And
Yeah.
logic has to be placed. We can't
Facts.
forego logic for your feelings.
No, we cannot.
We cannot because at that point then we'd be putting people at risk.
Other
And
people in
Yeah.
we have to keep
The
people safe.
majority.
Like you can't say you care about women and then care about this. Obviously,
Facts.
if you're telling that to a liberal, oh they are women. Well,
No, they're not.
Data, science, facts, they're not. So let's take the feelings out of it. Let's be realistic. This is a vastly unpopular position, and that this party doesn't want to seem to condemn that side. No one's trying to say that these people are going to stop existing.
Wait,
No one's
so-
going to try to do that.
It's
know
just they
they-
keep pushing it upon the kids, and then they trying to put the men in women's
I know-
safe
I know-
spaces.
you wanna-
That's
you
the
wanna-
problem.
It's not safe.
You want to know
With
why?
prisons
You want to know
and-
why they use rhetoric like, "Oh, you're attacking my existence," or you're threatening me, and et cetera, et cetera. It's
I don't
because
know why.
they want us to bend the knee to them. They just want to keep getting what they want and taking until like you.
But-
They're
And they're gonna
recognized
lose
as women.
elections.
But as a straight man, I can't say that. As a heterosexual male that likes biological born women,
Hold on, though.
I cannot say that is a woman.
It's
I
gay
cannot
people
say
who don't
that.
agree with
They
that.
said-
gay.
Hold on,
There's
hold
gay
on.
They
people who don't agree
being
with this.
a straight male, that mean you're a red flag.
But anyways, bro. Anyways, no,
Don't
for
you?
real.
I'm super cool
No,
about
hold on,
that.
hold on. So I know Trump signed the executive order. Democrats vetoed that, and they said that they re-signed. I guess like did they redo the bill and they signed for them not to be men to not be in women's sports, correct?
I don't
No,
know.
they
we
haven't
do
did
it?
the bill again.
I don't think.
What
Yeah.
was
Last
that
I heard
kid
was they
talking about
vetoed
that?
it.
Yeah,
And
they
that's all I
vetoed
know.
it. Last
is-
time I know, yeah, they vetoed the bill. Nothing new happened. That's why Riley Gaines is disappointed.
Yeah, she's going hard.
So we're still arguing about this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, it got re-brought back up.
Yeah.
And you just seen that girl in California that just jumped 19. Well, that man that just jumped 19 feet.
That just happened.
Yes, he just jumped.
That's
like
the one that Charlie Kirk was bringing up.
Yeah.
they just jumped like 19.6.
The long jump.
And you
And-
jump
and-
19.6 as a man, you're getting fried.
But
Wow.
well, in other states, you could actually place
Yeah,
in
but
a meet
that's
and win a
decent. That's
19.
decent.
That's decent for some high
schoolers.
schoolers.
But yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
I mean,
this is
that's
why the
not really
Democrats are
sad.
cooked right here, guys. Y'all see it. We're out of here.